name is James Sherman. I'm one of the tour guides here in St.Canice's Cathedral, and St.Canice's Cathedral is actually the founding site of Kilkenny. So Kilkenny in Irish, Kilkenny, the Church of Canice. This is where St. Canice founded his monastery all the way back in 550. So didn't exactly look like this. So the ground we're standing on dates from 550. Outside this cathedral, the Gaelic Round Tower dates from 1111. That's actually the oldest freestanding structure in the whole city. The cathedral itself is 13th century, so its architecture is early English Gothic. Started in this end in 1202, finished down in the west end in 1285. So it took the best part of the 13th century to build it, and it's actually the second longest cathedral on the whole island. So St. Patrick's in Dublin being the longest, but St. Canice's Cathedral here in Kilkenny is actually the second longest. I suppose the most unique item we have inside, with the exclusion of the round tower outside, is the bishop's seat. So we're actually an unusual cathedral in that we have two bishops' thrones. So the newer one here just to my right, which dates from around 1899, 1900, but the original bishop's seat, St. Kieran's seat. So of the two saints that actually converted this area to Christianity, it's St. Canice and St. Kieran. So St. Kieran's bishop's seat is actually located here, so in the north transept. So it's been here for 800 years, but used 700 years before that. So it is a 1500-year-old fully consecrated bishop's throne. Well, famously in Kilkenny's story, actually, the man to my left here, Bishop Richard Le Dread, he's the famous witch prosecutor of Alice Kittler in the 14th century of Alice Kittler. So in the witch case story, it's actually not the civil authorities downtown that prosecuted, but it was the ecclesiastical power, so under Richard Le Dread. So Alice Kittler famously had 4 husbands, 3 of them died, and one, number 4, was on his deathbed. The children of his previous relationship went to Bishop Le Dread claiming that he had actually poisoned her, crucially by witchcraft. So with that, Bishop Le Dread sent bailies to arrest her. However, either because Alice Kittler somehow managed to escape or bribed the guards, she managed to flee to England, but her servant Petronella didn't, either because she didn't get her out in time or the guards couldn't be bribed. She actually then was burnt at the stake, so for witchcraft, since witches always had an accomplice. So Alice Kittler actually escaped, but it's her servant Petronella de Mise who was actually burnt at the stake. But this man here is actually the prosecutor, Bishop Richard Le Dread. So he's also actually responsible for installing the first stained glass window in this cathedral, which is actually the east window, so that was the first one installed. We're actually fortunate here that in 1650 Oliver Cromwell knocked out all of our stained glass windows, but in 1645 the papal nuncio in the British Isles, Rinuccini, came to this cathedral and took a sketch of the original east window, and in 1875 the Butlers of Ormond actually restored the window. So the 5th Marquess of Ormond created a fund for the window, and his son, the 6th Marquess of Ormond, actually reinstalled the copy. So the east window we have is the only copy of the original window we have prior to 1650. I think what I love about this site most is that it's the founding site of Kilkenny, and in many respects you feel that the ground is going all the way back here to 550, and it's the namesake of Kilkenny. So I mean that looking across, if you climb the round tower, looking across the whole city, I mean you're standing on the oldest freestanding structure in the city, on the oldest ground in the city, so it's quite remarkable. So for me, I think it's the sheer age of the place that you have. When you step foot and your feet touch this ground, you are going, it's a tangible link back all the way 1500 years plus. So it's quite, I think that's quite striking. And for many visitors, that's the striking thing as well. You can feel the history radiate from every corner of this building from the ground. So I think it's the age is the most striking factor.